Hello, beautiful friends. I am Ginny, and I am a personal coach. I use a lot of tapping in my practice, so you will often see me offering short 5 to 10 minute tapping sequences and meditations. Today, the topic of the meditation is boundaries. Boundaries are important for self-care. Boundaries are important for nurturing relationships, and they start with ourselves. As we strengthen our boundaries, we allow others to understand what we need and what they can expect. So allow yourself to be in a comfortable space. Allow the back to be nice and long. Imagine that might allow you to bring in more oxygen and stay more present. Have your feet touching something. I have mine on a cushion. You could have them on the floor. It's nice if they're touching something. It's nice for the nervous system. It can help us to feel more grounded. So you do you. Get yourself comfortable in a space where you feel like you can stay for 5 to 10 minutes and be comfortable. And as you feel ready, close your eyes. From the center of your head, begin to lengthen both your inhales and exhales. Notice how you are today. Notice what comes up when you hear the word boundaries. What emotion comes to mind? Or perhaps there's a feeling in your body. Notice what it is. Say hello to it. If you perceive it to be a negative emotion or response, imagine that you might let it go out of your space just as easily as it came in. Imagine you might begin to replace that with something else now that you're aware that it's there. Boundaries. Inhaling and exhaling. Noticing the waves of things that come up as you notice boundaries. Boundaries allow us to give a gift to both ourselves and to those who are in relationship with us. They allow us and they allow others to understand what we need from relationships. We begin to understand more clearly where our space ends, where our tolerance ends, where our giving ends, where our receiving ends. Boundaries come up often when we think about relationships. Bring to mind somebody that you know that has very clear boundaries. And notice that even if those boundaries are tough initially, they're actually a gift to you because you understand what to expect from that person. Boundaries are a real gift to not only yourself, but also to those who want to be in relationship with you. Boundaries don't have to be perceived as negative. People with really strong boundaries are a gift. We can learn from them. If you have resistance to having boundaries, imagine what it might feel like to let that go. What might it feel like to instead own your boundaries? Most importantly, with yourself. Perhaps notice one small boundary that you could start with if boundaries are new to you. Where could you set a boundary for yourself or others? You could start with yourself. You could start with something simple like food, if it's a boundary that you're playing with just yourself. If it's a boundary that you're playing with somebody else, it could still be simple. It could be how much time I'm going to spend with you, how much I'm going to say in my text messages, how much am I willing to give? It can be very clear or not. What feels good? What feels good and nourishing to you? Can you own boundaries? How's it feel in your body? And you're noticing all of these things from the center of the head, which is a place of neutrality. But you may have some sensations in other parts of your body. This is a great place to notice that. And if it feels like it's a little sting or it's a little zap, let it go. How does that feel? Does that feel easy? Does that feel like something you could work towards and practice? Take another deep breath and let all of that go. And imagine that you're going to call back into your space, your willingness to just hold strong with your boundaries, your willingness to allow it to be easy on yourself and others. Just like that, calling them in and allowing it to be easy, receiving it as a gift and giving them as a gift. And then let that all go. As we begin to come out of the meditation, take one more deep inhale and exhale. And then as you feel ready, begin to open your eyes. Begin to look around the space that you're in, perhaps still breathing slowly, noticing what's coming up for you now. Give yourself a little stretch, perhaps bending over and touching the floor, wiggling around, getting back in the body. Thank you for joining. Namaste.